Do you know if something is a sign from the universe? And what do these signs mean? Hi, Awakened One. This is Rainy Maida Chang, spiritual teacher, ascension guide, Akashic Record consultant, and energy healer. It's a wonderful community together, spiritual awakening. It is growing every single day, and we are here to support one another. And I am here to support you. Like, comment, share, subscribe. It really helps the page and it really helps me. And it's so wonderful for me to know how you are doing so I can help you. Today, we're talking about what is a sign exactly? How do you know if it's a sign? And what do these signs mean? The universe is this incredible, beautiful place. And there are so many moments in our lives, pretty much almost every second of the day, that we are getting signs from the angels, from the universe, helping us on our path. And a lot of us are living our lives where we don't see these signs necessarily. And if we do see these signs, we may or may not realize what the sign may mean. Being on a spiritual awakening path means that things fall into place a little bit more. There are more synchronicities, more signs come up for you that all of a sudden you might be thinking of something and then boom, you'll get an ad on your social media page and it'll be what you were thinking about. And sometimes those signs can be confirmations to say angels are with you and they're just giving you that gentle nudge to say, hey, go forward with it. Sometimes we think these emails or these text messages or these feelings we have are just coincidence or just, it's not a big deal. It is a big deal and you want to pay attention to them. So if you're feeling called when you're driving to make a right instead of going straight, make the right. There will be a reason why. You could get signs all the time. The universe is constantly trying to help us and keep us on that track where we are connected and we are observant and not really living under the veil of just going through the monotony of daily living. It's bigger than that. You'll start to see more synchronicities and signs like numbers. And the first number that's typically seen when you're on a spiritual awakening path, when you're more aware of the fact that the universe is literally having your back, there is the number 1111. And you will find that you'll see this number more often. You'll find it on your cell phone. You might see it in an email. You might see it on a house number when you're driving by. But this is typically a number that comes up at the beginning of your spiritual awakening, when you're more in tune. When you see 1111, it is reminding you are on a spiritual journey. You are a spiritual being in a physical body, and this is an experience. That's number one. Number two, it is to remind you of what you are thinking in that moment that's going to be amplified. Because our thoughts, those tapes that run in our mind, they are important. And if you're constantly running something negative and a lower vibrational energy level, be aware of that. And when you see that, it's to remind you, hey, pay attention to what you are thinking. And if you are having a lot of negative self-talk, it is going to be a nice way for you to just remember, oh my gosh, holy cow, 1111. Start thinking positively. Watch what you're saying to yourself. And you want to be kind to yourself and speak nicely to yourself. There are many repeating numbers that you may see. They all have many different meanings. You might see 2 numbers together, 3 numbers together, 4 numbers together, etc. And there's a lot of research out there online. They all have different meanings. And when you see all these numbers, if you don't remember what they mean, because there's a lot of different meanings to them, but if you don't remember, just know that the universe is with you and is guiding you and is supporting you. If you ever see a white feather, that can be a sign from your loved one letting you know that they are okay, especially if it's right after that they've passed and you need some confirmation from them. That is a sign that they can leave you. And that is to let you know that they are okay and that they are with you. And that is really comforting for some of us that are here on the earth realm because we miss those people and we love them so much. A white feather can also mean other things like the angels are with you and are watching over you and guiding you. I'm going to share a story about a sign of, I believe, the angels sent someone to me. I was in a really tough place many years ago. I was dating someone, we broke up, and I was very, very sad and very down on myself. And I was falling away from who I really was. I started to question things about myself. I was at a dinner, I was out of town, and I didn't know anybody at this dinner except the host. And all of a sudden, a young lady sat next to me and we started talking and we became fast friends and started to kind of help me boost myself up from that feeling I was having, that low self-esteem and low self-worth. And she was there to just lift me up. And I felt like my old self again. I felt truly within my being who I really was. And then I tried to call her and her number was disconnected. And I thought, that's interesting. So I called the host, our mutual friend, and she said, I haven't heard from her in weeks. And that was years ago. To this day, nobody knows where she is. She's just kind of gone off on her own path. And I believe that the universe sent her to me in that moment of my need. The universe can bless you with moments like that where people come into our lives for a reason. And it's very specific to either help us be lifted up or for us to help others. And then you may or may not stay in contact because they may not need you anymore or you may not need them anymore. And that's okay. And that's a beautiful thing about the universe is that we are gifted these opportunities to see things in a bigger way. Who would have known that that young lady would come into my life and pick me up, help me put my pieces together? That was really awesome and life changing because immediately after that, I ended up meeting someone that was really wonderful to me and we ended up getting married. So who knows? If I did not lift myself up, would that be where I am today? Another way that the universe can give you signs is through experiences. This is important because sometimes we may misread signs. You know, when you get a sign from the universe, you have to be aware of what you want. So for me, I have the old me and the new me. Now, the old me is someone that is just doing the same thing over and over again and living my life, which is fine. It's wonderful. It's great. But the new me that I am wanting to be, that I'm putting out in the universe with all these aspirations and these goals and who I want that person to look like and be, is not going to be as familiar with the old me because the old me is the one that I've been living every day, the comfortable. But this new me is me putting myself out there in different avenues and experiences. So I had an event to go to and I was recovering from a cold. Part of me wanted to go to the event, but the other part of me wanted to stay at home in my nightsuit, cuddled up on the couch under a blanket, just doing my regular, normal routine. And so I got a sign. I was told the table I was sitting at, they may or may not be space for me. And initially, I said to myself, oh my gosh, this is a sign that I should not go to this event, that I should stay home on the couch and just be happy at home. If I were to be comfortable and stay in the old me, that would have been the perfect sign, right? I wanted to stay home. I wasn't 100%, so I should stay home. But I have been the old me, and I'm looking to be this newer version of me. So I took that sign as I'm not going to be that new me if I stay at home in my nightsuit on the couch. In order to be the new me, I have to put myself out there. I have to get out of the house, put on nice clothes, and be social. I could have misread that information about the sign of the table being changed. I could have totally said, no, I'm going to stay at home. That was my sign. But that's resonating with the old me. For the new me, I want to be getting out to spread my message and to be out into the world. That was a wonderful lesson for me to be aware of how I am interpreting the signs. I was able to then look at the sign from the eyes of the new me. So sometimes we get signs and it might be the mind and the ego wanting to keep us back in our old patterns. So you have to be aware and discern what these signs are meaning. You want to think about it from the point of view of who you are to be, who you want to be, that person that you're aspiring to be. And then when you look at the full picture of the situation, you can then take the sign and realize, okay, this is a perfect example of me going forward. Even though it's making me uncomfortable, it's going to be a great opportunity for me to do A, B, C, D, E, and F. Getting a sign to look at it from this point of view versus the comfortable, the old. Every single day, every moment, we are given messages from the angels, from the universe, for us to be on our path. And it is an absolute blessing and wonderful feeling when you get the synchronicities and you get those signs from the universe. And it's to just gently remind you to pay attention to what you're thinking, to continue on your path, and to absolutely know you are loved, you are supported, and there is so much here for us. And it's not that we're going to go through this life asleep, but to be awake and to know that there is everything for us that we want. Speaking of tools and help for your spiritual awakening path and journey, I have a spiritual awakening kit. I'm putting it in the description box. It has tools and techniques to help you on your path. And you might find that something really resonates with you as you're doing these meditations to kind of bring in the energies that you want in your life. And I'll tell you, I personally do these every single day. They keep me aligned with my highest self and keep me on my path so I don't waver and get lost. And may the universe offer you more signs where you can be surprised and excited. I'm sending you a lot of love, peace, harmony, and joy, and signs from the universe. Bye for now.